it's not even me being dramatic. That to me is probably like one of the most pivotal moments of my life. Because back then, you know, if you hear no from the right person, it's gonna it might derail you completely, change the whole trajectory.
Yeah.
And back then, I'm not a rapper. I'm just like doing verses, making beats. You know, I've never even made my own song before. And Bugus was the rapper, you know? And when I turned around and asked, yo, do you think I should rap? And he just no hesitation, hell yeah. That was it. That's all I needed. It was over with.
Somebody that, I love that you always talk about him, Bugus.
Yeah.
How important is having your best friend ride alongside with you your entire career, also your business partner in Diamond?
Yeah, man, I was just saying it yesterday. I don't think I would have made it without Bugus. Bugus was the visionary behind all this shit.
Okay.
Bugus came up with the name Diamond, you know, when we were 17. Bugus filed the LLC at fucking 18. Do it every day, music or nothing. That was Bugus's idea he came up with. He filed the LLC.
How fucking you know to do that at 18?
He was just, bro, Bugus is just smart as shit. He's just wise beyond his years. But Bugus is the one who found TuneCore. You know what I mean? Like, bro, we should use TuneCore to get our music up.
Wow.
He's the one who was reading Napoleon Hill and Paulo Coelho and Deepak Chopra, and then he gave me those books. This is all at like 18.
Crazy.
You know? And I was just producing for him exclusively, and, you know, I would do hooks and verses here and there, but when I turned around in the studio, when I was on the mic and I was like, yo, should I rap? That right there to me, like, it's not even me being dramatic. That to me is probably like one of the most pivotal moments of my life. Because back then, you know, if you hear no from the right person, it's gonna it might derail you completely, change the whole trajectory.
Yeah.
And back then, I'm not a rapper. I'm just like doing verses, making beats. You know, I've never even made my own song before. And Bugus was the rapper, you know? And when I turned around and asked, yo, do you think I should rap? And he just no hesitation, hell yeah. That was it. That's all I needed. It was over with from then on.
That's how you know that's a real one right there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people can't say that somebody would say the same because they're like, no way, I'm the artist.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, especially at 18.
Yeah.
He could have been like, no, bro, like, I think you should just make beat or whatever. Like, it was in his house. The studio was in his house.
That's crazy.
You know, so it's like, I was on my shit as a result of Bugus being on his shit. The studio was in Bugus's house.
Right. I thought it was in your house.
No, the studio in high school was in my house, but after that setup that I did my whole career, I was in Bugus's house.
Oh yeah. After
that's so like, it was Bugus who had the open door policy at his house where I could just show up whenever and just be like, yo, I'm outside, and he'd be like, come around the back, you know.
Yeah.
And we would get in the studio, but like, I was pulling up that often because Bugus's energy to get it was contagious, you know? And I know I wouldn't have been that on my shit without Bugus, because when he moved to LA, it was like 2013, 2012. He moved to LA for like 6-7 months or something like that to like go to a music school out here. And he had the setup. So obviously he's going to take the setup with him.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm just in Atlanta, 20 years old, you know, dating a chick that isn't good for me, you know, not making music because I don't have a setup. I'm just making beats, and I wasn't trying to like, I wasn't making it a point to get a setup. I was like, I'll just like record whenever like Bugus, whenever I see him or something. I wasn't on it like that.
Oh shit. Okay.
So I saw like, you know, those 6 months where I was not on my shit. I remember Bugus texted me and he sent me this long ass text. He was like, because he was thinking about moving back to Atlanta. But it was a long ass text, and it was like, I'll summarize, but it was basically like, I'm not about to come back to Atlanta if you're about to just be bullshitting. Like, if I'm going to come back, you need to be on your shit. And that was a wake-up call, you know?
Crazy.
Yeah.
There's always that one person.
That's what I'm saying, though. But it's like, I can look back at that time and be like, wow, bro. Yeah, I was not on my shit. And I don't think I would have been on it without Bugus. Bugus was the driving force behind all this shit. I wouldn't have made it without Bugus, bro. That's the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reality. Like, I can I don't believe in that whole like, oh, I would have made it somehow. What? Nah, I don't think so.
That's crazy. I don't. Have you ever told that story that you'd had that moment where you weren't doing anything?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah.
No.
Talk to me about Milan, my Canadian brother.
Oh man, Milan and me connected in 2015.
Yeah.
And just sent an email, man. I remember where I was. I was at Lifetime Fitness playing basketball with my dad and my brother, and I was like, wow, bro, holy shit, things are happening. You know? Like, we got a fucking email from this, like, legit manager, you know? And he flew me out to Toronto to meet him, and he was working with Waka at the time.
In Toronto?
Yeah, like, he was with Brick Squad and all that.
Milan?
Yeah.
Did not know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I met all of them.
What year is this?
2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
2015. So meet them. Milan gets me a studio. I think, is it Orange Studios in Toronto?
Yeah.
Is that a studio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's there anymore.
It's like right there on.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah. And we go there and the piano is like out of tune, but it's awesome. And I sit down and I Want to Go Down With You, which ended up being on the debut. And we built a relationship after that, you know? There was hiccups and whatever. There was 3 months where like we didn't talk. I forget even what the fucking issue was, but I remember just telling him like, don't call me till you get me Kara Lewis.
Oh, so
as a booking agent.
So you guys connect, because I always heard the story.
Yeah.
You guys connect.
And
you guys are working together.
Yeah, and then had a bit of a falling out.
No shit.
Yeah, but the falling out was really like one of his business partners, like promising me like a show or something. And back then, bro, I had never done a show really in that capacity. And so I was so amped. I'm telling my whole family, we're all gassed about it. It's LA, and it falls through. Yeah. And that shit was like so embarrassing and just
setting is crushing.
It's crushing, bro. So I was like, fuck all y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Okay. And so we didn't talk for like 3 months. And I had told him like, don't reach out unless you have Kara Lewis. You know, this is how much I studied this shit. Like we knew the booking agents.
Yeah.
We knew Kara Lewis and Peter, what's his?
Schwartz?
Peter Schwartz, right? The old like, is it Peter Schwartz? You know,
I'll get back to, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so because it was Kara and him were like the ones.
Right.
I think that's his name.
I think yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, yeah, don't call me until you have Kara Lewis. And so
this is crazy.
Yeah, it's like such an absurd demand.
Just for the people who don't know Kara Lewis at the time, I mean, still Eminem, I believe. You know?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
Eminem.
Kanye.
Yeah, Eminem, Ye, Travis, like she's the GOAT.
She's the GOAT.
Yeah, so and for those who don't know, a booking agent is somebody who books the tours. Routes the tours. So, because I wanted to be on the road so bad. And I was like, man, if I want to be on the road, I want Kara Lewis. I know she'll get me on the road. And so 3 months goes by or 4 months or whatever. And, you know, independent labels have been reaching out. Cinematic Records had reached out, Johnny Shipes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And this is, I'll never forget the date, September 1st, 2015.
Okay.
I fly to New York. I go meet with Shipes and Cinematic. And on the way to New York, I have a layover in Charlotte. This is like so crazy how this happened. I have a layover in Charlotte. Milan calls me. I haven't talked to him in months. He calls me. He's like, yo, I got you a meeting with Kara. He said, the only thing is it's at 4:30 today in New York. I'm like, I'm actually in Charlotte, about to land in New York.
Land in New York.
Like, what are the odds, though? You know what I'm saying? And why would you set up a meeting with Kara in New York when you know I'm in fucking Atlanta? Like, what was I supposed to do?
Right.
But I was flying to New York, and so I land in New York, and with my bags in my hand,
that's crazy.
I go to Kara's office, and this is when she was at CAA.
Yeah.
And meet Kara, and I was like Kara to me then, and still, like, I still get nervous around Kara Lewis. Because Kara Lewis to me is a superstar.
Yeah.
Like, that's how deep I studied this shit. Like, Kara Lewis, I get more starstruck around Kara than fucking whoever.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm in the office with Kara Lewis, and I'm showing her, like, my SoundCloud analytics. I'm like, these are the top 10 cities on my SoundCloud. These are where I should tour. And
that day?
That day.
Crazy.
That day I'm showing her those analytics.
Okay.
But I had I think I just hit 10,000 followers on SoundCloud.
Okay.
That was like where I was at. So there wasn't a lot of like shit happening. You know, September 1st, 2015, I had just dropped What They Want to Pull the Trigger because Losing Control came out November of that year, and Do It Myself came out December. But I'll never forget the date because the thing back then that was so cool was being able to put for booking in your bio, and it was Kara Lewis's name.
Yeah.
And so I left that office September 1st, 2015, being able to put
hard
for booking Carol, and it just made me feel so fucking like official, bro. Like,
hell yeah.
Those small wins
yeah.
are enough to like keep your dream alive for, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so shortly after that, I think in October, there used to be this, what was it called? CMJ showcase, some shit like that in New York. It was like New York's like South by Southwest thing.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And she got me on a show that was during the week of that showcase where I opened for Jay Electronica, and which was awesome.
Yeah.
Like Jay Electronica is one of the greatest rappers ever, but like you can imagine how off that was, like audience wise, for me to go out there like, and do like fucking Willy Wonka and fucking like melodic, just like. I remember the crowd looking at me like, bro, and this is New York too.
And this is
and they're
New
there
York.
for Jay Electronica.
Yeah. And then
I roll out. It's like, get this dude the fuck off stage. I wanted to get off stage so bad.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting Elliott Wilson in the crowd back then.
And you know who he is?
I knew who he is because I studied the shit. He didn't know who I was, but I was like, bro, I'm about to be huge. I'm telling you. He was like, all right, cool. And that was that. Now, you know, Elliott's my guy. But so that was like October 2015. And then I think it was shortly after that, I did my first show ever in New York at SOBs. Or maybe that was 2016. I think it was 2015. I have my wallet on. Oh, they have my wallet. I still carry around the check.
That's it.
Rob, you got my wallet? Yeah. Let me see. It's crazy. I still move around with the first check I got from the show ever.
Crazy.
I move around with that and the ticket I got to Sunday service because it was the first time I met Kanye.
Oh shit!
Ooh, you threw it. That was really ambitious to think I would catch it.
He's a hooper. That's what I was thinking too, man.
Yeah.
He's got the hands.
Let me see if this was it. Because I'll tell you the date. Yeah, October 15, 2015.
Put it up to the camera here.
Real life check, man.
Wow, 200. You never.
$250. I was rich. Couldn't tell me shit. What?
How did that feel to get that?
I'll be honest, man. That $250 hit way more than getting 600 grand for a show.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's
It meant way more.
How come?
Because it was proof of life on this faraway planet I was trying to get to. By the time I was getting 600 grand for a show, I had gotten 400.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it meant more.